It's definitely culture work. People aren't resisting training. They're more in control. That's what's being fundamentally taken away. It's AI adoption through the lens of behavioral science in a sense. How do we make this transition? I mean, I can't say seamless because it won't be seamless, right? But what makes people actually embrace this change? What are some of those things? We've talked about so many things from tactile feedback, the user experience, things like that, the rituals. How do we make this transition for everyone more seamless in that thought process?
Big tech's we don't know. Big tech's trying terror. Hey, I'm going to go lay off 8,000 people, and you guys better step up your work on AI. That's the message. I mean, there's the terror. We don't know how it's going to work, and we'll see how well that works. And shareholders will see how well that works. In some cases, people step up. Some cases, they don't. We're asking a lot of organizations, Jesse's point earlier, to do things they're not good at anyway. And that's something where you're seeing that. So if I'm here and I'm a CFO and we know we're doing presentation to the board, my solution is, okay, we're going to should be able to just eliminate 40% of the development team, and they're going to step up and fill in the blanks. Or what we're going to do is we're going to go eliminate that development team with what things we do need to do. We'll use these folks from Brazil and go from there. There is I think there is an aspect to this that we've spent the past hour talking about all these humanistic things and all these things that we identify with, and emotional intelligence and the engagement thing that through, and then putting that process into organizations not designed to execute or deal with any of that. A human experience in an office is an HR crisis. That's the extent of it. It's not proactive. You're only seeing recently the trend where being proactive on mental health and their mental health issues is kind of change transition, that we're asking organizations to do things, and the kind of change they need to make is not necessarily about buying so many compute units and doing that. There are other aspects here to kind of embrace and do that. And we're not off to a great start with 500,000 jobs down.
And I don't think too, like, for example, management will always want to manage. They will
Yes.
always want to control a story. It's just human nature. It's not a detriment or attribute. I mean, we saw this during the pandemic where some, like on Wall Street, you have to come back to the office, and then everybody quit. And then they're like this. It's the same way with AI. I think that you can try to guide it and control it, and not control it, but introduce it as best you can. But the more you tell people this is how you have to use it, one, it goes against what, the whole fluidity of using AI to come up with new solutions if you tell people exactly what they have to do with it. Second, I think there's going to be some necessary pain. I hate to say this, but where things are just going to have to develop organically. Some businesses will try AI and it may not work in some regards, but then they'll see, oh, it worked really well here. I think it's, like water flowing downhill to find its level. AI will naturally find avenues where it shows worth and where it doesn't show worth. Those things will happen organically. And I think as much as businesses try to control, or organizations try to control it, it will find its own way into our daily lives and our work patterns. And sometimes it'll be a godsend, and sometimes it'll be a nightmare. And, I think management's best course of action here is to be the calm in the storm as these things kind of work themselves out with their workforces or their organizations, to allow these things to try to happen as painlessly and as as productively as possible. But to try to dictate how people are going to use AI, it seems like a losing battle to myself.